Show. And you're live in 3, 2, 1.
Scandal fans, we are back. After a nice little 2-week break, we're back to break down Scandal Season 6, Episode 5, They All Bow Down. And this was crazy. Stay tuned, we're coming right at you now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I just pew pew.
I love that.
Sorry.
I ain't sorry.
Sorry.
I ain't sorry.
Sorry.
I ain't sorry.
No.
Good job,
I love that we went there. I love it. Yes. Time to roll me up. Yes. I ain't sorry.
I think that's like Olivia's hashtag move.
I ain't sorry.
Nobody was sorry.
No one this whole episode was sorry at all. Or thinking about each other.
No.
Oh, makes me sad. Jake was not thinking about you.
Oh, man. What is up, everyone? Welcome to our after show. We're so hyped to be back this week.
We're back.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Nice little 2-week break,
It felt
but
like forever though. I was sad.
and I was like, man, after 2 weeks, it's gonna come back hard and heavy, and it did. It sure did.
Did not disappoint at all.
Well, you know us. We're your Scandal Squad. I'm your host, Christine Alexis. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Christine Beam.
Awesome. I'm Ryann Graham. You can find me on Twitter at Ryan with 2 N's Graham and on Instagram at Instagram.
Hey guys, I'm Parris Rose. You can find me on Instagram and Snapchat at Parris Rose.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Jessica Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica WW and on Instagram at Miss Jessica Williams.
Dope.
Paris, you still ain't got a Twitter?
Can we start a campaign?
Yes.
Hashtag get Paris to Twitter so she can see the hashtag.
I know. So I'm just, you know what? I'm just nervous. I'm not gonna know how it works, and I don't want to be bad at social media. I just can't be in 2017 and be bad at social media.
Can't
so.
be bad at something that
hear
you don't
you.
do. It's like that meme where that guy's like thinking, that's you right now.
That's so good. Oh my God. First, before we get started, I want to say a quick shout out to everyone who's in the live chat. It's popping right now. I see you guys. Special shout out to Kimberly Silas. I see you in the live chat saying you're trying so hard to stay up right now on the East Coast. Feel you, girl. I'm from the East Coast. I know what that's like. So thank you so much for staying up with us. And thank you to everyone who's tuning in, whether you're listening live or you're downloading us later on iTunes, on Facebook, whatever it is. We thank you so much for tuning in with us. Yes. So let's get to it.
Let's
get to it.
Yeah.
Jive in is what I almost said.
Yeah.
Dive in is what I meant to say. Oh,
Did we all just do
we
that?
did try. I hope that this is a musical episode.
We
That makes me
are
very
a
happy.
quartet. Yeah, if you didn't know, the Scandal Squad quartet.
Yes, I'm into it.
Right.
Yes.
So I feel like this week a lot of our predictions and just things that we've been wondering about were answered
Yes.
this week.
Thankfully.
And again, leaving us with more questions as per usual. That's what Scandal does.
Right.
And I guess our first initial reaction to when this episode started was like, Sally
Yes,
is back.
finally, Sally's back. I was like,
God.
God, fine. We literally just talked about where's
Yes.
Sally been, in?
Right.
And as soon as it came back, they must have been watching, and they knew that we were asking about Sally, and they were like, oh, you ask,
Yep.
and you shall receive.
Exactly.
We're all on the same page because they were just talking about it before we started because, as Christine said, the live chat is banging. And they were
Yeah.
like, we were just talking last week about Sally. So we on the same page as you guys in the live chat. Thank you guys for coming back and tuning in. And yeah,
Yes.
I love it.
funny
We're all
thing-
in sync.
The funny thing about Sally this week was that she was not feeling this lie, or quote unquote, because she didn't know it was a lie, but she was like, well, you know, she has the flu. They were talking about Vanessa coming back, and she goes, don't you understand? She goes, I do not. I get my shot every September.
Right.
Like, of course. Sally is so sassy, and I love
love
everything
Sally.
about it, because she's just so funny.
Sally was like, lovers of liberty do not skip out on a press appearance. Like, I feel like
Keep it going.
that was going in her.
Good little accent you got going there.
I try.
She's so good at it. I just like keep it going. I can't lovers of liberty. I can't
Lovers
really
of
do it.
liberty. My little southernness that I'm from Texas. But Can we talk about these flashbacks? I'm sorry, every week I get so frustrated because it's like, is this a flashback? Is this present tense? It's so confusing because, like I said, the color scheme of the show, we need a little contrast.
Like a blur,
a little darker,
maybe?
a little blue tone.
Some type of vignette.
Vibrant
like
present.
we know.
Blue past. Vibrant present. Okay. Jazz hands.
It was a little confusing in the beginning because we open up with this flashback of Jake and Vanessa, like around the time that he got the nomination for VP with Mellie. And so you see their love, and like, I don't know, did anybody else feel like, I was just so happy for them because I was like, oh wow, they're so in love, and it was cute.
Yeah, I think this episode we kind of saw like the rise and fall and possibly rise again of Jake and Vanessa as a couple, and just there's so many layers. You're right over there?
Yeah, I'm
All right, we're good. We saw all the different layers to their relationship and just more character development all around, which I definitely appreciated, and it was definitely a very Jake-centered episode.
Yeah.
But for good reason. We got a lot of things answered, and then some things not so much. So,
I feel like my favorite part about this was that like you noticed it when we were watching it, was that the actress who plays Vanessa did switch. And so like that was interesting to see because it was like Vanessa was this kind of docile character last season, and then like all of a sudden she is like this vibrant character. So I feel like that actress needed to be new and be a new character. Does that make sense?
Maybe that's the reason why they changed her. Maybe they didn't want Vanessa to be this kind of
Muted
who cares
character.
about her,
Yeah.
And so maybe that's why they did the change. Who knows?
Well,
I'm happy for it. Usually I hate changes because I'm like, I'm so used to this one character, but I needed it here.
Yeah.
Being an Laker, I don't like Jake with anybody else.
Oh my God.
But of course, that's his wife now. I do think that she kind of appeared and a little extra to me at the beginning. Oh, I feel like Jackie O, and all of that stuff. I was like, okay, calm down, girl. Calm down. But what I did like is when he was kind of having doubts and kind of like, oh, Olivia is taking over my life. She's a good talker. You know, we need those good pep talks. And she kind of came in and she delivered on that, in my opinion. Kind of like, you know, once you're in the presidency, I think she said something like, yeah, they will all bow down. Like, so just basically stay focused and stay centered. So I appreciated that. She's not just a little flaky girl that just likes to drink. She actually has a mind.
Right.
Yeah, well, then also in stark contrast to that, it's like we get that flashback and we see how she's really the driving force behind Jake staying focused on the trail. And then flash forward, she is losing her marbles. She is on a bender, and we find her, well, the Secret Service finds her.
Right.
And so we learn later that this was like a sort of an attempt at suicide, which is awful. But she is just not where we saw her before. She's over it. She's over Jake. And I don't blame her after seeing how savage he was this episode. I mean,
It was
did
too
anyone
much.
else think he was just like cutting real hard?
It was too much for me. It hurt my feelings listening to it. I'm like, gosh, I don't even know if I could handle that. If my husband, and she doesn't even get that. A marriage is arranged marriage, so it's real to her, and that's too heavy.
Well, but I feel like there was a point when it was also real to him. Like, I feel like that there was definitely a time when he, like, had... Because he even talks about it later with Olivia, where he's like, no, what we had was real. She showed me a different path. And it was like... I think that there was a moment when he was with Vanessa that he legitimately was like, oh, this can be... This is someone who really loves and cares about me. And I feel like it kind of turned sour when Olivia got back in his head. And I hate blaming Olivia, but like, I don't know, to me, I was like, I kind of feel like she did this.
I think that he didn't know how sincere Olivia was about her intentions about the White House. I think that he kind of came at her in his sarcastic, nasty way that I just couldn't stand. But he was just like, oh, yes, ma'am, yes, boss, whatever you say. Oh, you're a robot, and kind of like, oh, you want the White House so much. And she corrected him and said, no, I need the White House, Jake, and this is why. I need redemption. I need to know that everything that we have all been through was for a purpose. That Defiant, that rigging the first election with Fitz, all kind of culminated to something. And that was a heartfelt moment to me. You know, I really do think that she was vulnerable, which we don't see as much from her, and she was very honest, and she basically was like, hey, I want to have one clean election.
Yeah, I have to say that was definitely a huge moment for me this episode because just over the course of the season, we've seen how Olivia's been acting and how ruthless she's been to get to the top. And I personally thought that was rooted in some sort of like personal need for power. But after hearing her really just dive deep into the fact that this is redemption for defiance, to me that just made everything come full circle. It's like they played on. Ryan doesn't agree, but I thought that I was like, okay, are we humanizing Olivia a little bit more now? And even later in the episode, we see that she's kind of now the power's not in her hands anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that was a huge power shift. I thought it was interesting that they put her moment of vulnerability and this kind of power shift within the same episode.
I guess for me, I didn't like that she used it as an excuse.
I'm with you.
Yeah, because it's like,
let's talk about it.
Because I'm like, what do you mean that you're trying to redeem yourself for XYZ? I'm like, at this point, like, because there was a moment where, her name is blank. Quinn comes to her and is like, we know Cyrus is innocent. What are we gonna do about it? Like, and Olivia's basically like, he's in jail, and like she just kind of sweeps off to the side because I think she's trying to like feed herself this narrative that she is like making up for wrongs that they've done. But I'm like, why does Cyrus have to be the fall guy for this?
Right.
And like, I feel like her using that was kind of a cop out. It's like, I think you're just saying this because you want to feel good about your decision, and you are like, you're manipulating Jake into to making yourself feel better.
Exactly.
And like, oh, we have a clean election. I'm like, nothing you have ever done has been clean. Like, I mean, I won't say nothing you've ever done, but I feel like a lot of things you do are shady, and it's like, I don't know. It wasn't for me.
And I feel like Jake was right at the moment where he said that I'm just not paying you attention, and she wants attention. I think that's the thing that bothered her most.
Yeah.
Is that she doesn't have control over him until she then turned it into this like, oh, well, I'm making up for it. But I thought at that moment it was an excuse.
Yeah.
I think she wanted Jake to be the puppy dog Jake that he is, and since he wasn't, she's like, well, and now she got him back in. She did exactly what she has to do, the Olivia eyes, and now Jake is back.
Wow.
So,
That's interesting, right? I mean, y'all are there, we're here. I feel like...
Yeah, I feel like you guys are like,
I'm not.
Liz not getting any like benefit of the doubt in this respect.
No, because she does. I mean, we of course know that Olivia can be manipulative, but she kind of has this air about her when she's doing that, and kind of provides a nice little smirk at the end. But I kind of saw her eyes getting, glazed, in a sense of watering, and just kind of saying, like, no, like, listen, I need this, and this is why. So I did take it as sincere.
But okay, with her saying she needed this, I think the White House was not the this she really meant. I think she likes having people be attached to her, and I think she needed this, as in Jake, because I think when she was when she was watching when she was watching Jake and Vanessa sit over there, you don't think that bothered, that the look on her face looked bothered, and not bothered like, you need to stay focused.
True.
Bothered as in
I did peep that.
You know what I mean? She was very bothered
yeah.
by it. And so I feel like she was, again, I think it's scapegoats. Like, I think it's all her talking about other things when really what she's saying is I need this. And I feel like that passion, when they were sitting there looking at each other, I was like, well, they're going to kiss or screw.
I agree with how Olivia was bothered by their interactions, but I don't think that this was Jake, because she could have had Jake a long time ago. She could have had Jake when they went into the sun. She could have had Jake when he walked outside of his dad's house that day, the season finale of season 5. But no,
and this is coming from someone who's teak.
Yes.
Team Jake and Teak, sorry. Totally came out wrong.
Interesting. Funny. Okay, good.
Tico?
Yes. So interesting. I like it.
But I don't know. I do think it was fun to see, or I don't know if fun is the right word, but to see, because like with the flashback, but of Vanessa in the beginning and her now, like you see that, okay, clearly she went to rail, and you kind of see that Jake pushes her to drink.
Yes.
And that was so sad to see.
That was messed up. He was always referring to like, oh, the bar's that way, go that way, or just here you go, drink.
Like damn.
Like really?
I think it was also interesting for as much as Vanessa was like a non-factor, I think prior to this part of the season, I think this was a super big moment to introduce her character and really just show we get like a whole character arc of her in just this one little episode, and we're already drawn in, and I don't know about you guys, but I felt for her immediately. I couldn't believe that he was being that cruel to her. And I guess we'll see more of his intentions behind that later.
Yeah.
Like originally, I was kind of annoyed by her character, but this episode, she made really valid points. Like she wants to know her husband. She doesn't feel like she knows anything about his past, And so everything she said, I was like, it's really valid as a married couple.
No,
and
yeah.
I felt for her, and I really liked her character this season. This episode.
And then, did anybody else, like, I know me and Jessica had that moment. I think you guys might have too, when she was sitting there and was like, I just want to know you. He was like, you want to know me? Okay. I was like, oh, he gonna kill her.
Yeah. See, Eli was like, yeah, I'm just gonna 1-2 pop and you done, honey.
Jake?
Right.
I think we're all so like scarred by Jake and Huck and their characters and how like ruthless they can be. So at any given moment, we're just expecting him to like pull the plug real quick, and
no one's safe.
No one's safe.
And the thing about Vanessa is kind of sad because, we can connect and understand just as a normal woman, you want to know things about your man, which, by the way, she shouldn't have married him in the first place. She didn't know anything about him. Just saying. She's like, where are you from? Where'd you grow up? And what's your dog's name? But
first date question.
Right. How do you know? And then what threw me off, she was like, how do you know Eli? How do you know Eli? Like that was a little weird. She just threw in Eli's name.
Oh wait, no, because remember when they had that family dinner. So that because I forgot that too. But they had a family dinner.
Because he connected them,
and that's why he
money.
thinks of her as the sister.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You're right about
Little
that.
does she know?
But,
right.
But the thing is, it's like at the end of the day, it was an arranged marriage, so she will never ever get anything that she wants from Jake, and we know it being viewers, but unfortunately she's just like
now she knows it.
Yeah,
but in that moment when because he then tells her like, I can't tell you anything about myself because the things like, if you drink now, I can only imagine what you'll do if I tell you. And so that kind of made me like think like, do you think there are certain things about yourself that you shouldn't tell your partner or aren't able, like, and I mean in the live chat, hit us up, let us know what you think too, because I'm serious, like, do you ever think that there's some things about yourself that you shouldn't share, and do you think Jake was justified in saying, because like part of me is like, maybe he's doing these things and being mean to her because he's trying to protect her, and I'm like, do you think that there's ever a time that you should do that to your partner to protect them? I don't know. What do you guys
honestly think if there's something that you really feel like you can't tell your partner because it will change their whole outlook on you, then you shouldn't be in that relationship. I really feel that way because that means that they don't know a big part of you. Something, if it's really dark, like, I murdered someone in my past. It was self-defense, but I murdered someone. No.
Girl.
No, if I did.
The internet's forever.
For example, like, if I did and say it was self-defense, that's still something you should know. It affected you. It changed the way you think. Yeah. So that's how you connect with someone. That's how you know you want to be with someone forever because you know them inside and out.
To touch on that, me cab 1003 in our live chat said, I think Vanessa is showing that Jake can't have normal with just anyone. Only Olivia can handle the darker sides of him. He can't talk to Vanessa because she can't handle his dark side. Yeah. So I think maybe that there's some truth to that.
Yeah.
That he is like protecting her, and that's how I feel. I'm like, in his case, like I think everyday normal people, I'm like, if you're cheating, like, you shouldn't be. Like I mean, like that. I feel like it's something that you shouldn't hide because you shouldn't be doing it. But I feel like when it's something like that, like NSA level, like
that's when you should tell.
But no, because I'm thinking like, but then think about all the people that could come after her if she knows.
Liability, and I think it's both. I honestly, I don't think that he's just straight out trying to protect her. I think he's genuinely annoyed by her. When you have this little parrot like, asking question on repeat, he's like, I don't want to talk to you, and that's what he said, I don't want to talk to you. And so I feel like, she's there, he knows that she's a prop in his life, and he knows that he cannot trust her and be able to be his complete self with her, and that is a struggle for him.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think he knows also, bigger picture wise, she's just a pawn in this larger show that they're putting on to the American people. And think about it, everyone else in his immediate world that he engages with is dirty. They all have so much on each other. I mean, he could even be in a room with Mellie and probably still have more to talk about than he does with Vanessa. You know what I mean? Like, they all have done their dirt, and I think Vanessa, for all her faults, is still really pure and outside of all of that. So, intentional or not, he's not trying to taint her. So, but Vanessa's frustrations do come to a head, which brings me to, honestly, one of my favorite parts of the episode, where she's on a bender, she's losing it, and Liv is trying to make her snap out of it and kind of come to, and they have this awesome moment. I think awesome for TV. I don't know about you, but I was like, wow, Liv went for it. She said, don't come for me, I'm not here for it.
That was everything. That was everything,
hilarious.
Literally.
Yeah. Seriously, that was such a good
because that girl, I mean, Vanessa, she was going in. She said, I don't know, what is it? Hundreds or thousands of wives or girlfriends have had to hear your speech because of all that you've done. She said that is it still tight down there? She
said, she was going
that's great. That's great. She said, you know, I'm standing in my husband's whore's face. I mean, I was just like, girl. And I love Olivia's like, I want to believe that you're still drunk, you know? Like, I love that. And she just was aggressive.
Girl,
and
you don't shut up.
Yeah.
She said, don't come for me, not today.
Yes, not here, not today.
Not ever.
I
It
was
was
like,
so
yes,
funny.
Olivia, you
Right?
better. Yes,
It
you
was-
better.
And I love that they're like, because like those are like typically like black phrases.
Yeah,
and I just
right.
love,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
I was like living for it. I was like, I'm all right, Shonda, you better put this on national
Exactly.
TV.
I can totally see Shonda saying that in the writer's room one day, though. Like, don't come for me. This is my show. I want this line in the episode. I feel like that was probably taken from real life.
It's so funny, but it was well worth it.
But what's really good about that convo is it definitely moved the storyline forward because within that conversation, it's revealed that Vanessa is not just blindly sitting by getting drunk. She peeps everything. And she is the one who reveals to Liv that there is someone else in the picture, that Jake has been texting and making moves that even Liv is not aware of.
Right.
Even she also reveals in that conversation that's when he left for the election, right?
Right, yeah.
And that kind of like snowballs into OPA further investigating Jake's involvement. I mean, we all kind of thought it was suspect that he wasn't around, but now it's kind of getting to our characters for them to now look into it.
Yeah.
This episode literally confirms so much of all of our predictions for the past.
Yes.
And then the moment in comes Rowan.
It's like, all right, so
There you are. We've been waiting for you, buddy. Like, for real. Like, it was like what is it, Snowball?
Yeah,
We were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
boom, 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 boom. I loved it.
I'm still a little confused about Rowan's exact placement, and I think we probably will get to that a little bit later. But like, him and Jake are clearly working together on something, but I'm trying to figure out because like while we know he is involved, I feel like I'm less sure that he is like directly responsible for Vargas. We know that Rowan is responsible for a lot of things right now, but like that, I'm like I'm not entirely sure that is him anymore. And that, I mean that's where I'm sitting on it. I'm like I don't know. I know he's in charge of something, but like
I think
that
it's a part of it. Though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like that. I don't know. For me, I'm like I'm not entirely convinced that he is a part of that.
It's like a connecting piece. It's like the realizing that Jake is now involved in some capacity, introduced Rowan, and now we know that Jake blew up the cabin and killed Jennifer.
Killed
Loose
Which-
quotes.
Praise, because I called that.
You
I
did.
I was like, I don't
did.
think she's dead.
I gotta
And
shout out Ryan real quick because you definitely called that early.
I was like, I don't know, because I was like, we never saw that body, and I was like, we don't know for sure. And then like, so that was the big cliffhanger. We're jumping up there, but yeah. So we see her come in, and I'm like, oh damn, like so, but like, although she's back, and like at least that piece is confirmed, that makes me feel like there is a disconnect between Rowan and Jake. And so that's what I'm saying. I don't know how involved Rowan is in Vargas. Only because Jake went against Rowan's command. So that means that somebody, unless Jake is going rogue, someone is pulling Jake's strings.
What do you mean he went?
Because
to save
killing
Jennifer.
Yeah, because Rowan was saying kill her.
Right.
And I'm saying, so he obviously didn't do that. And I'm like, unless he just did it on his own, somebody's pulling his strings that's not Olivia. You know, does that make sense? Or he could just be doing it.
I think that go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that's to be revealed next week.
Right.
Like we really don't know at this point.
I think that she may have, Jake was fed up and he's been done with Rowan since that last situation, and he wanted to maybe find out more about what was planned. He wanted to get the insight. He wanted to act like he was back, part of the team. I'm your son. I'll do your dirty work. So that's why he acted like he killed Jennifer, and I think that he now brought Liv in so they can work together. So I like that teamwork. Bring it all back around. I like it. It's exciting. And I'm sorry, not for a minute was I fearful of Olivia's life being with Jake. Being with my Jake, she is fine.
When they were in that car, he was talking.
I just thought that he. I know that sultry voice.
I was like,
Mellie.
I was like, well, I am assuming a white person wrote that because no black person was just gonna get in the car and get into this cabin.
Someone said in the live chat that a black person wrote this episode.
Oh no, it was
Hilarious.
Shonda was the actual
Well,
writer.
yes,
but I'm saying that piece had to be added by somebody else.
When he threw her phone out the car, I didn't think it was like to leave her hanging. I thought that it was her being tapped, and he wanted to make sure nobody was listening. Which, by the way, she was like, "Oh no!" I'll be like, "My contacts, my phone."
iPhones are too expensive. I'm like,
well, you got
You know what? She can get a new phone.
But I'm like, did she back it up before she added her new contacts?
I don't. My phone has been backed up. No, I'm with you. My phone has been backed up in 44 weeks.
Yeah.
So
to be exact,
I know because I get the notification.
Back up your phone, guys. You never know when someone's gonna throw it out of a car window. I'm just saying. Oh my god.
But yeah, I don't know. But okay, so this is like a little thing I'm gonna insert. I'm gonna do my little shady boots moment here because there was can we just sing? These boots are made for walking.
Okay.
Because that's just what they'll do.
Hey.
Walk all the way.
Yes, shady boots. Okay, so I'm gonna give shady boots this week to the costume designer. I looked up her name. I wrote it down.
Tell us why she has the shady boots.
Okay, her name is Lynn Paolo, and like usually, I'm assuming Lynn has worked on the show before, and usually she does a fantastic job. But that little rap that Olivia was in when she went to visit Jake the first time in those black gloves, it was like this big star pattern. And I was like, no, that looks bad. And then
yes, that was so ugly.
I couldn't even focus on this.
I didn't like none of the raps.
At the end, the little blazer she had, I was very distracted.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
because she's getting more.
That's probably what it was. They had to cover up, but I was like, man, you couldn't put
horrible.
anything.
You're so
it was terrible.
Yeah.
It looked like something my grandma would wear. I was like, Lynn, you missed this.
I did notice. I'm like, oh, she's not looking cute this time.
Yeah, and I don't like the tight curls. Like she just took out rollers and they just like real tight. I need to brush it out a little bit, have a little flow.
A little bump, just a little.
So yeah, that's who's getting shady boots this week. Because I was like, yeah, why y'all do my good girl Kerry Washington like that? She's better than she deserves better.
Yeah,
sure does.
But yeah, no, normally the costumes do hit. Just this week, I was like, oh, somebody missed.
Those ponchos.
She's also not really like sexualized very much anymore. I feel like at first it was like the daring, the red, and the it was very like ooh, and now it's more subdued. I don't know if that directly parallels to where her character is at in terms of like she doesn't necessarily have it all together.
Maybe
she doesn't have those hot and heavy scenes anymore though with anyone. So I think maybe
she can't because her baby bump. It's just there. I see it. They try to cover it with the black, but I'm like, I see it. She tries to hide it, and she can't do her fierce walks. They have to keep the camera here.
But I'm sure we would get to it. I'm sure they're coming because she's had the baby by now, so I'm sure that walk is coming sometime.
Well, come on now.
But speaking of like being like sexualizing like or I guess like costuming, there was that lady this episode in the red dress that walked in with Rowan.
That
that was Vanessa.
Yeah, when she walked in, I was like, oh damn, Vanessa's in this deep, like 'cause it threw me. I was like, damn, Vanessa, like because I would have never saw that coming. But then we are introduced to this new character who doesn't have a name. Like we don't even know her name, but she's like calling the shots for Papa Pope. She's telling him what to do, and I'm like, oh, that's scary.
For me, that was refreshing to see in this episode because. Papa Pope's always that X factor that we look for, and seems to be the all-knowing, all-doing kind of being. Some way, he's always like ahead of everybody. So to see someone kind of step in and ruffle his feathers a little bit, I was like, this is interesting. This is a good way to go, and it's someone that we've never seen, like organically, like Scandal fans. We don't know who this is, and I'm really excited for that. I want someone new in the mix, and I know I brought it up while we were talking about the episode that I think it was somewhere in season 4 or maybe prior, Papa Pope in his many monologues, he mentioned something about doing what's best for the Republic. And it gave me the sense that there is a bigger picture in line, or just more players involved into something that we have yet to really understand in terms of manipulating who's in the office and what players are involved. So I'm really curious to see who this woman is and where she'll take this season, because I mean the point that we're at right now, I think she's being inserted to really shake things up. I don't think this will just be like a one-off.
I think that red was like a symbol. I think that she's the power now. Like red, she came in strong. No name needed because she's like this new powerhouse. So I'm like so excited. Finally to see that to see also that Eli got basically talked down to.
Yeah,
he's like, you will not threaten my daughter. She's like, Erks, like, excuse you, do you know who you are?
A strong female character.
A strong female character that Eli doesn't stick up to. So
I like her. But I do not like her threatening Olivia. Threaten Rowan. She said things like she has served her purpose because she gave us Mellie. She is expendable. And every breath she should be grateful for every breath from the higher gods, is what she said.
And repeated every breath.
Right. Like, I'm like, I'm sorry. Now I'm upset with Papa Pope because I'm like, what mess have you gotten us into?
Right.
Yes.
What deal did you make with the devil? Literally, the female devil.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, and so it's like, good God. And now she is trapped because of the Switzerland account that has her name on it. And now, if she did want to save Cyrus, which clearly she doesn't in this episode, but now she can't. She can't be the gladiator. She can't have the white hat and take out Cyrus instead of him having the death penalty.
Right.
So I was just kind of like, yeah.
But that brings me back to my point that Olivia is saying, I want a clean race is BS, because if she was really about having a clean race, she would come forth and be like, this is happening, and let everybody know that Cyrus is innocent, and then prove that she's innocent. Like, I feel like it's never about everybody else. I think it's always about her. I think she's kind of selfish. But
in a way, I know it's going to sound really cruel, but I kind of like that in this scenario. I mean, it may change later, but Liv can't get her way in the sense of like breaking Cyrus out and proving his innocence. I feel like somehow Liv always finds a way, and I'm like, can we keep it realistic a little bit? Like, this is actually like, it's not gonna happen. Like, at least I think so. And also shout out to Carmen Williams in the live chat. She pointed out that Shonda tweeted to keep an eye and watch on the lady in red. She is a quote unquote mystery woman.
Ooh,
so
I just saw that.
I know I follow Shonda, but I don't think I saw that tweet. So that was a really good catch.
Twitter does like they have an algorithm now, so you don't get all the tweets on the timeline anymore. Sad day.
Yeah, I just get the like in case you missed it, and then like random tweets. But
they have
good call
algorithm.
for sure.
Yeah.
So you gotta favorite more of Shonda's stuff, and then it'll pop up.
I
don't know. I just know.
Social media wizard over here.
But no, I'm excited to see who she is, because it's gonna be fun to see a new adversarial female character for Olivia, because I feel like she doesn't have very many like people that she like is competitive with, or people who threaten her.
Yes.
Like I feel like most characters are like not very threatening.
Maybe
except
for Cyrus, but he's gone now.
But even Cyrus is like, I don't think he would ever like kill Olivia. Like I feel like that Cyrus.
I wouldn't put it past her.
I don't think so. In his realm of capability.
Really?
I think
See,
so.
I don't think so. Yeah, I feel like that's not something Cyrus. I think he would try to destroy her in other ways, but I think kill her, no. This woman, however, like I think that is legitimately a thing. And I'm also like, see, now I'm starting to like really be more and more suspicious of Charlie, and I'm like, part of me feels like, are we going to predictions?
Hello. We can take it there.
Yeah,
let's go to predictions. Get our AfterBuzz TV predictions going.
Yeah, I don't.
Lights, camera,
Yes.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
I wish we like were in slow motion during this.
I'm gonna kick it off, Ryan. Let's hear it.
So since we're in predictions, I feel like this new mystery woman is like in charge of other people. Like I think that she's more connected than we know. And so like with Jessica, when you're talking about Charlie and all this, now I'm I backed that up before, but now I'm really like, ooh, I feel like she is gonna be connected to Charlie, and that's why she knows so much about what's going on in OPA, and I think that's why he's there. I think they are connected, and so Charlie is a mole, and he's a spy, and he's an OPA to report to her. Because I feel like she has to know. She has to know and has to have connections more than just Rowan. Because he was surprised by that. But I'm like, but Charlie always knows what's going on, always has these random facts, and I'm like, I think she is the one that is sending Charlie on missions, because I don't think Charlie has any real loyalties.
Well, thank you. I'm so happy that you have.
I'm with you.
I've crossed over to the Charlie Berry team.
I think that Charlie's with her.
I don't know if I think that he is directly reporting to the lady in red. I think that she has perhaps employed Rowan, and he has built his team. He, reached out to Jake to handle that one task. Maybe Charlie's task was to be, insightful. But at the same time, she has a lot of information for her to say, like, oh, Olivia has served her purpose, so maybe she is more involved with each teammate's execution of their tasks. So I do think that somebody that we didn't see this episode and somebody that we haven't mentioned yet is Meg, which is Jennifer's friend. And, we were suspicious of her and her activities last week when Huck was getting close to her. No, I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago. When Huck was getting close to her, because it's like, okay, she's involved in some type of way. Many assumed, I think some of us up here said it, chat was buzzing about her being a part of B613.
Right.
And one thing that really stuck out to me last week is what she told Huck. she goes, oh, okay, something about the alarm, like, oh, okay, if I just set this alarm, will I be safe? And he's like, well, what are you afraid of? She was like, if the man who killed Jennifer comes and gets me. And he goes, well, Tom's in jail. She goes, well, you don't know that Tom killed, Jennifer. He could still be out there. So I feel like maybe she knows that Jennifer's not dead, and therefore she's involved in it in some type of way.
No, that makes sense because I feel like she was suspicious.
She was, and I don't know. I can't put my finger exactly on what Meg is about.
Interesting.
Okay, Parris, want to take a crack at it?
I unfortunately don't have any predictions. I'm just kind of left with questions, which doesn't help. But I'm just trying to understand why Jake is really helping Jennifer. What can that serve? What can Jennifer's purpose be? And who is pulling Jake's string? Is he just like Team Jake now? He's on his own? Is he still with Rowan? Is he with the red dress woman, mystery woman? I'm just really trying to piece it all together. Who actually still killed Frankie Vargas? Because who could have done it? I don't even think it's Jake anymore. I don't think it's Charlie, unfortunately, guys. I'm still in mystery land for me.
You know what could be really scary? What if Huck did it and he's working with the lady?
I don't think that's very far
I
off.
wouldn't put that.
That's scary, and I don't want it to be true.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
So-
I don't know, because Huck is
You
also
never know.
out there.
I don't think so. I think he's so distracted with, I don't know.
He's been pretty dormant, I think.
Yeah, he's-
And his thing is like this love interest, and he was on the trail with Quinn trying to figure it out while Charlie was back planting FBI phone calls that went missing and all that kind of stuff.
True.
And to answer your question, though, just real quick, I think that Jake followed through. I think that Jake is serving himself right now. I think he's trying to figure out everything on his own. It's like he has a little war zone going on, little war room. But I think that he executed it for pretend with Jennifer's death because he wants to figure out why do they want this girl dead. That's why he has her up somewhere. He's trying to put
Okay.
together the pieces himself. And now he feels comfortable enough to
bring Liv in.
incorporate Liv.
But do you think Jake knows that Jennifer is the one who made the call saying it was Cyrus?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I think he
absolutely.
knows.
Okay.
Because he
Bigger
probably asked
picture.
her, why do they want you dead? Who wants you dead
I
and
think that's
why?
who he was texting when his wife was saying that, when
Yeah.
Vanessa was saying that he was texting some girl.
Yeah, I gotta say I kind of align a lot with you, Parris, in the sense that I have so much more questions than I per se have predictions. But the one thing I will say, just because of the way they kind of laid it out at the end of the episode, that more information will be revealed.
Yes.
Next week we will find out who shot Frankie Vargas. But I think we'll also find out just a larger plan that Jake has with Jennifer. And I kind of see this going in like a us versus them kind of thing, where like maybe Jake, Liv, Jennifer, and maybe some other parties are trying to combat whatever the Lady in Red and her people are doing. And maybe we'll find out more about that.
Yeah.
So is
I
there a
think so.
good team and a bad team?
Yeah, I think maybe because, there's a lot of manipulation in this world in terms of getting people in places of power. Jake included, he's being manipulated to serve a bigger purpose. And I think maybe through his relationship with Jennifer, we'll understand more about what the bigger picture is.
Yeah.
Ultimately, who's supposed to end up in the White House. I mean, the Lady in Red mentioned Mellie, but we don't know if that's the end game. Maybe they want Mellie there to then do something else. I don't know. But
Who?
Yeah, that's deep.
Ooh.
Mellie, we know Mellie's oblivious. Right now. She don't know nothing.
She just wants
She
to-
over there.
she's just like, I'm about to be the president.
I love it.
She did the Mellie voice.
Yeah.
I am going to be the president. Did you hear what I just said?
That's
what she
Even the
sounds
eyebrows.
like.
You know what?
She's like, I don't answer to
To
anyone.
anyone.
I am free. You know what that feels like? Which I
I
love.
did like her pep talk though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it would have made
agree.
me go on the show too. I'm like, all right, yeah.
She was like, you cannot, happy is what you want. Happy does not come packaged in a bottle. I was like, yes, you better tell it.
Good old
Because she
Mellie.
suffered all of those years. So we have a couple of predictions in the chat. We have people saying that they thought that it was Mama Pope.
Carmen
Carmen
We
said
cannot
it.
find that.
Scandal
so at
fan
all.
said it.
Oh,
I know.
Mama Pope died like 2
Did
seasons
she?
ago.
No, she
Mama
didn't
Pope
die.
never
She
died.
She never
disappeared.
died.
I thought she was
No,
in
because
jail.
remember she had that.
didn't
She
die.
called her and said goodbye. I remember her literally saying goodbye, Olivia, and then she closed the phone, and then we saw her walk away, and that was the last time we saw her.
Mama
No.
Pope
She is
is
supposed.
crazier than.
I remember her like walking
Why did
last
they bring
away.
her
time-
back?
Well,
Oh.
listen, I think we had talked about this a couple of episodes ago, but Mama Pope can't be it because she's under federal prison right now. Like she's locked up right now.
That is true.
She's
That is
locked
how it
up
ended.
because the last interaction that we had with Mama Pope was back when Huck had killed all those people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when they were trying to get Olivia back from being overseas, and they used Mama Pope's alias to try to bid for Olivia on the black market, they brought in the computer, and she was trying to negotiate her release, and they said, no, we can get you a TV. And she was like, okay. So then they used her to negotiate
Interesting.
to negotiate some big players that could end up being on the black market. So she's still there. They never actually
that was from
released her.
season 4 though.
That was when she was kidnapped.
Yeah.
She wasn't brought in this past season 5 at all,
wasn't.
because season 5 was all about the election.
Yeah, yeah.
And she
She's
was
been
never
MIA
brought in
for a while.
she's been locked up.
Hopefully she got.
Where would she fit into the grand scheme of things though?
Yeah, that's
You know
why
what I mean?
I don't.
Like she has nothing to lose or gain from being involved in that way.
Right.
But we never know what Miss Pope.
But she
like,
don't have
we
no
never-
control. She's
Miss
locked
Pope.
up.
So formal.
She's locked up. She's locked. She don't have nobody can visit her. She don't have nothing. All she
Yeah.
has is a flat screen TV.
Hey, so that's all you need.
Interesting. Well, I guess that'll all remain to be seen.
Yes.
I know I'm really excited to finally find out who shot Frankie.
Yes.
We'll see so much. We'll see that and so much more next week. That's actually all the time we have for tonight's show.
Yes.
So thank you guys once again for joining us, whether you're downloading us later on iTunes or listening live, joining us in the live chat on YouTube and AfterBuzzTV.com. We're so thankful to have you with us. Thanks for popping off in the live chat.
Oh yeah.
Continue to tweet us all week. You guys have our social media handles. We love chatting with you. We love all the crazy theories. We got tweeted some really crazy ones
we did. Yeah.
over the 2 week
course
break.
of the break.
Ooh,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We were retweeting and responding like, I don't know what to talk about that. So yeah, so we love
Yeah.
it. So please, and we see the predictions come in after the fact. Like always, we will address the predictions next week, and leave your comments, like the video. We
Yes.
love likes.
Thumbs up. Awesome. Did you have something you want to
No,
add?
I was just
Okay.
gonna say thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, for sure.
Cheers.
Cheers to
Cheers
you
in a
guys.
while.
Oh,
Cheers
no,
to
this
This is for
Scandal.
you guys. We are true gladiators with our
Yeah.
wine, guys.
And once again, you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Christine Bean. I'm your host, Christine Alexis.
Also, I'm Ryann Graham. You can find me on Twitter at Ryan with 2 N's Graham, and on Instagram at Instagram.
I'm Parris Rose. You can find me on the gram at Parris Rose and on Snapchat.
The gram. Love it. I'm Jessica Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica WW and on Instagram at Miss Jessica Williams.
Dope.
Yay.
See you guys next week.
Bye guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.